5 News This Morning starts now.
I'm in favor of us working out these differences now.
Federal agencies could see mass layoffs if the government shuts down. How people in Arkansas could feel the impacts.
And temperatures, you walk outside this morning, I think they're Joe Ellison improved, a little bit chillier than yesterday at 50s and 60s, but it's going to be nice today and later this weekend. We'll talk more about it coming up.
Plus, Arkansas agencies thousands of illegal products from stores after a new law takes effect banning certain THC products.
A live look at this morning. Razorback Stadium never looked better. A beautiful shot this morning. The Hogs getting ready to take on Notre Dame. That'll be tomorrow for the first ever matchup. And I feel like it's a good game time, 11 o'clock in the morning. It's before it gets too hot out there.
Oh yeah, it's before that too hot time, a little early enough where you could even start bringing out your Hog sweatshirts.
Yeah, see, but Danny, what do you always say? Don't forget the sunscreen.
Yeah, don't forget the sunscreen. I'm just getting my Fighting Danny
Is that your Fighting
pose.
Irish stance?
That's right. Well, I got the fist, right? Like, I'm an Irishman if you couldn't tell. I've got the dark hair and, well, yeah. Anyway, we do have temperatures a little bit cooler out there this morning. You can see anywhere from about 6 to 10 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. So as you walk out the door this morning, it's going to be a noticeable difference out there. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be cooler during the day today because dew points are a lot lower as well. You can see that humidity anywhere from about 4 to nearly 9 degrees lower. So when the dew point's lower, that's drier air. So it allows things to cool down pretty low during the day, but then, or excuse me, at night, but then during the day, it warms up pretty nicely. So right after the bus stop, it's going to be one of those days where you need maybe a light jacket this morning. Temperatures in the 50s. Thankfully, the wind's light, so there won't be much of a, I shouldn't say wind chill. We're not quite in that territory yet, but you know what I mean. But by this afternoon, recess 10 to the 70s, and then warming up nicely into the 80s with a few clouds. You're heading home. And if maybe you want to head up the Arkansas-Oklahoma State Fair, it should be an excellent evening for it. Again, we just have 2 more days, today and tomorrow, and both days are going to be excellent. So we'll have more about that coming up in your full forecast. For now, let's take a live look at traffic on this Friday morning. Let's take a live look along the Knoxville area, along I-40 at exit 67. Good morning to you there. The sun about to rise in the next, we'll say 35 minutes, roughly 7:06 is our sunrise, and we're starting to see a little bit of light out there, but still pretty dark. And again, besides maybe some patchy fog, should be a great morning weather-wise. We'll have the full forecast coming up in just about 15 minutes. Joe and Emily.
All right, thanks, Danny. Developing this morning, former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted on 2 federal counts.
Yeah, he's set to be arraigned in a Virginia Federal Courtroom in 2 weeks. Thursday, the grand jury indicted Comey on those charges of obstruction of a congressional proceeding and making a false statement, both connected to Comey's testimony before a Senate committee in 2020. During which he denied authorizing the leak of information to press 4 years earlier. Last night on Instagram, Comey proclaimed his innocence, and he called out President Trump, who fired him in 2017.
My family and I have known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump.
I can only say that Comey's a bad person. He's a sick person. I think he's a sick guy, actually. He did terrible things at the FBI.
But we couldn't imagine.
The indictment could come less than a week after the president publicly urged Attorney General Pam Bondi to pursue cases against Comey and other political rivals. Last Friday, he says he fired the previous U.S. attorney who wouldn't pursue charges. He was replaced by White House aide Lindsey Elligan, who did file the charges.
We are now days away from a potential shutdown, unless Democrats and Republicans can agree on a short-term spending plan. Ed O'Keefe has more.
Under a new White House plan, potentially tens of thousands of federal employees could be laid off for good if there's no deal to fund the government before next Wednesday.
Is there going to be a government shutdown?
Could be, yeah, because the Democrats are crazed.
A memo from the Office of Management and Budget, run by Director Russ Vogt, instructed federal agencies to consider issuing reduction in force notices for employees if a shutdown starts and their work is not consistent with the president's priorities.
Our response to Russ Vogt is simple: get lost.
Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries said Democrats won't be intimidated by the threat from the administration and said they'll agree to a deal to fund the government if Obamacare tax credits are extended. They're set to expire at the end of the year.
Cancel the cuts, lower the costs, save health care.
The president dismissed those demands.
Are you willing to negotiate on that issue?
What they're really asking for is they want to pay for illegal aliens that have come into our country by the millions and get onto the rolls.
The president provided no evidence to back that up. The constant gridlock worries Bonita Williams, who's worked as a contractor at the State Department for 17 years.
If I get laid off, then we gonna be a creep. You know what I'm saying?
Williams has worked during previous shutdowns, but this time she's not sure what to expect.
Why do we have to, repeatedly go through the same thing every so many years? Because somebody don't agree with this or somebody don't agree with that. Why you gotta take it out on the people?
If a federal government shutdown begins next Tuesday into Wednesday, the military law and immigration enforcement and air traffic control would continue. Social Security and Medicare payments would also continue. U.S. Congressman Steve Womack represents Arkansas's 3rd congressional district. He says all the finger pointing in Washington needs to stop if an agreement is to be reached.
Sign me up as a person that believes we ought to work out our differences and get this thing across the finish line in a bipartisan way and save America from the drama and the potential horrific consequences of a government shutdown.
Well, Congressman Womack says in the event of a shutdown, Arkansans wouldn't feel the effect immediately, but says the longer a shutdown drags out, the more severe the consequences could be. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement considering the proposed Franklin County prison site as its new immigration detention center. Franklin County Sheriff Johnny Crocker told 5 News his chief deputy saw 3 ICE agents at the governor's prison advisor at the site this week. Sheriff Crocker says the agents told his deputy they were looking at the site as a location for an ICE detention facility that could be built quickly. But Crocker says he believes Franklin County does not have the resources or the right structure for this type of facility. The governor's office releasing a statement saying her office is engaging with the Trump administration on how to support border security efforts and get quote, violent criminal aliens off the streets.
Other groups are also reacting to the potential ICE facility. Gravel and Grit Director Adam Watson says he would like to see more communication from state leaders. Chickamauga Nation Chief Justin Flanagan says he and his tribe want to get a chance to sit down and tell state leaders why their position is important.
We are going to be very vocal if they do not involve us. We are the tribe that has a treaty here. We are the tribe that has graves all around this site. We're the people who are still here today. So there's no reason for them to ignore us.
Flanagan says the tribe has reached out to the governor's office and the Department of Corrections for a meeting, but they have not heard back.
The Washington County Planning Commission has decided to delay moving forward with discussion on a plan to build a concrete facility in Prairie Grove. The decision came last night after some residents expressed their worries there at the podium about the project's impact on their neighborhood. The proposed location would be there off Highway 62. We've reached out to the company behind it, O'Brien Rock, but have not yet heard back.
The state of Arkansas has seized more than 6,000 illegal products off Arkansas store shelves after a new law that banned hemp-derived THC products took effect this summer. The 8th Circuit Appeals Court upheld a statewide ban on intoxicating substances derived from industrial hemp. The products are now banned include Delta 8 and Delta 9 products like gummies and vape cartridges. The Department of Finance and Administration says the seizures were made by their enforcement agents during day-to-day compliance checks after agents had already visited once to notify them of enforcement beginning.
So we spent a month visiting almost 3,000 stores to make sure they understood it. So those that are now in non-compliance, we're not finding that they're doing it, that they're finding, oh, we just forgot about it. It's people that are being pretty blatant about it.
In addition to the ban on selling hemp-derived THC products, possession is also illegal.